Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well today. Um, I am feedback. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize about that. Come on, there we are. Okay. Every day is getting better at this. Every day. So at least I've got the picture up now, which is great, and I have a lot of good stuff coming today. So yesterday we were looking at Bitcoin, and we had seen some stuff going on, as well as with Ethereum. We saw a little run up. Like I said, we started trending up um, in the middle of the day, and so around 12 o'clock. So it was really interesting to sit there and see what was going on. So I think you guys can hear me. I'm pretty sure you should be able to hear my voice. I know that the face that you're looking at and the voice that you're hearing are two different things, but it should work. I've had to do some. I've had to do some workarounds here with the product that I'm working with, but it's the best thing for what I want to do. So I really like what we're doing. Let's see what is going on. Fire. I don't think so. That's a good question, Josh. So he asked, is the bottom in, or are we falling further? Who knows? Find out soon from the famous Pedro. I don't know about that one, but I like again. I want to make sure I put this in, and I want to hit this hard. I don't trade necessarily bottoms and declare bottoms or tops. What I do is I trade the chart, and the chart tells me what it wants to do. Because remember, we're investors. I think one of the biggest things I think within crypto is that we want to get in at the lowest price and buy, right, and then we hold. And I think that's important to buy in at a low price, right? I don't disagree with that, but the biggest thing I'm going to hit up is that we are and this is important to say, when you're looking to trade, you want to capture the trend, right? That's our goal. But in addition to that, we also want to be able to gauge really like the, start to, like the down. Okay, let me put it like this: I don't know where the bottom's going to be. I know where turning points will most likely turning points will be, and in additionally to that, I will know on a very um uh on a percentage wise, I'm able to gauge, okay, here's a good area. We should have a response off of this in regards to the trend, and within we should see some turnarounds, right? So I don't think we are at the bottom. I think we are going to go further down. But the key is this, I pointed this out. We have two junctional points. We have the junctional point right here that we're looking at, and then in addition, we have another junctional point right here. Right? These are these higher time frame SMAs that I look at. Now, in addition to that, I'm also basically looking to see if we have higher highs and higher lows. We've got to first get through the 8 moving average on the weekly. That's one of my primary things. Looking at that daily and weekly, if we can get through that and start to find true support on that, then I think we could see another nice rally, right? But I think we're in a range here at this point, between 21, 22 area to this 19 to 17 mark. This area right here, I can see it's just going sideways here for a while, or we could push through. But the key is those I'm using these junction points or these parameters to really gauge which direction I think the market will go, and also reactions based off the market, because I'm not looking to gain like the lows and the highs. I'm looking to basically gain a little bit extra in the market and then capture the sell off here, right? So I play both ways in the market. One of those things that I try to do, and this is important for me, is that I'm always following what the chart is telling me. I'm not trying to gauge if the market is at its bottom. It's like, honestly, it's like listening to a woman. I just, forgive me, but don't try to tell the woman what she needs to, not what she needs to hear or whatever, right? Like that, like most of the time, women are brilliant, right? The key is just to listen to what they're telling you, and they'll tell you what they're, like listen to them. The market will tell you. Just listen to it. Watch what it's doing, and then capture it. And so, if one of the things I've done is the way I built my account is through singles and doubles. This is important to understand. And I talked with Chris Kuhlman. And also, just give you a heads up, Brinks is coming back this week. Chris is going to be coming back probably next week. But Brinks is going to come on and talk about aspects in micro coins and how to look and how to bet them really well. He's one of the top bettors within Better platform. He's a purple veteran, and he's a dynamite guy. He works really hard. He's really good at his craft. But jumping back to what I was saying, and I just want to give you guys heads up what was going on. I'm going to go over some stuff here within the charts, and then in addition to that, see what's going on within the broad market after that. But the biggest key, though, and I want to bring this home, is that I'm trying to listen to it, engage what it's going to do, and go along with it, right? I can't tell it what to do because, unless I'm Goldman Sachs or Bank of America or these major institutions that actually can manipulate the market, my job is to basically follow them and see where they're headed. And so I can see that in the charts by looking at trends, higher highs, higher lows. I personally use moving averages. I look at wick movements and stuff like that. But I'm able to gauge what's going on in the market, right, based off of that. I'm not going to say I can call the low or the high, right, because that's when I'm not looking to do that, right? If the market starts to, like, I'm dollar cost averaging on major coins that I like, that I think have great utility, that I feel like they have phenomenal case use, right, into the future and far beyond, right? I can sit there and see now. Again, like just like with the tech industry, right? When it first came about, when it first started back in the late '90s, early '90s to the 2000s, right? We didn't know what was going to be. We didn't know who was going to be around. We didn't know that there was going to be. Yahoo was really the primary browser that was used, right? Also, Google was kind of around. I remember when they came out with Internet Explorer, right? But the one that stuck around, right, was Google. That's the one that's primary one that's really just dominating the E2, right, or Internet 2. But now Internet 3 is coming about, and also bring this up. There are a lot of also online stores as well. But guess who won? It was Amazon, right? We know that they're the juggernaut now of e-stores, right? You go on to Amazon, everything's gauged as Amazon. I remember when not Best Buy, eBay came out, right? It was a huge thing. So these little things, I don't know, right? But my gauge is to look at what's coming out and to invest into coins that I feel are going to be future promising coins. And additionally to that, trade the market. I want to trade the market. I want to look at the charts and see what they're telling me, and then I'm going to gauge myself off of them. So I want to make sure that I bring that up. And give me 1 second. Because these are just these small little details that I think are important for people. There's no necessarily bottom or top. It's just that I'm looking to trade the market and gauge what it's going to tell me, what it wants to do. So that's really what I do. All right, so let's go ahead and jump back into the charting here real quick. All right, so we can see here that we definitely on the daily on Bitcoin. And actually, let me jump up here real quick also to S&P 500. All right, so you can see here that we are coming up into this area here. I left this here primarily because this was an area where we had a lot of sell-offs. So we did put in a higher low here, and now we're going to see if we're going to hit this higher high by hitting this 50 here. So it's making sure that we see what is happening. Now, again, I always check out the monthly, and there's no real science to this. Just look at higher time frames, right? 1 second. There we go. Now, this also has a lot to do with how the S&P 500 is doing, right? We're seeing a rally in the S&P 500 as well as in the NASDAQ. And because of that, this is what's really, we really do see Bitcoin starting to be really correlated with the S&P 500. So as it's doing this, we don't know when it's going to be brought in. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Oh, come on. So we have this. Wait 1 second as well. So one of the things that I want to bring up, and this is important for me when I look at the market, as the market is moving, right? You don't want to get into it like just all of a sudden. It's because when it's like a freight train, it starts to move, right? And it's like trying to catch a fire. Hey Josh, let me hit you up about this, just because I'm live. Hit me up and we can talk about this later, and we can kind of get all that set up. And I agree with you with that. I do need to set that all up correctly and make sure that looks good. So I can actually bring you on, and we can come into the green room and play with that and see what that all looks like. But I agree with you. We do need to take some time to do that. Josh is kind of like my he is like almost like a tech. He's really good. He knows how to make a lot of designs and stuff like that. So I got it, man. We're good. There we go. All right. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and go through. All right, one last minute. I'm sorry about this delay, guys. I'll jump right on here in just a second. There we are. And Josh, I am also going to invite you. So if you want to come in and just hang out, man, and just talking and just bring in, I'm gonna invite you in. So jump on in here in just a second if you got a minute. I know that you do work full time, so I understand you also are busy. So let's go ahead and go into the chart. So you can see here that we are having a monthly crossover. It's coming up right in this direction. Many times when you have these crossovers, the price will come up, retest into that area, and see a sell off, right? And so when that happens, it's something to be mindful of. We do have a monthly supply zone right here. In addition to that, the S&P 500 is also, we still haven't gotten above this 8 moving average yet. Every time we test it, we always sell off. So that's something to be mindful of. All right, so let me go ahead and bring Josh in, my friend. Awesome. How you doing, Josh?
Doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a minute. It's good to hear your voice, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Good to hear your voice. So I am definitely looking at this market. Now, I know you were asking, did we hit a low here? Or did we hit the bottom? I don't know. I don't think so, just simply because we haven't even gotten above the weekly 8 moving average, right? And we're not finding support here yet. So for me, I sit and I gauge this market off of really more movements right now of just like consolidation, especially with the S&P 500. And we've been following it. We really haven't been putting in, like, if you look right here, right, we had put in some higher lows and higher highs, like right here, right, as we were coming down. Actually, boom, boom, boom. Actually, we had it. So we're actually, I think this is just another impulse move up until we have the primary move where it goes down. So you have your movement of the market. So we'll find out what happens. It is putting higher highs and higher lows, but I don't think that the S&P has stopped going down. I really think we have a long ways to go. In conjunction with that, because Bitcoin and Ethereum is correlated to the S&P/Nasdaq, that I think we have some major uh, we have some major stuff to get through. So we'll find out, right? Whether it is the bottom or not. But I don't try to call the bottom, right? All I look for is, okay, is the market moving up? Yes, go long. Is the market moving down? Yes, go short, right? So if your dollar cost average, or if you're looking for investments to put your money into, I was just wanted to add in that idea is simply, you know, find some good projects that you really like, do your own research, and then in addition to that, you have that ability to be able to dollar cost average and or finding low points and then buying in at those moments. So you definitely have those aspects to be able to do that. But on a more of an intraday level, now go ahead. What were you going to say, my friend?
Oh, I'm just listening. I'm just listening in. I'm
Excellent.
all about that dollar cost average. You know that.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
my daily preach right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, in addition to that,
Ethereum and
hello, you hear me? Josh, we can't hear you, bud. It's all good. It is all good. Let me know when you come back on, man. Just speak up, and I'll be able to put you in. So I want to bring this up because this is also really important. So we're starting to see here on the Nasdaq, we're getting through some major stuff on the 4 hour, right? And so we just pushed above this 200 period moving average, right? This was the first one that was to go. So the next one here is to see this 400 period moving average come down. Now, when this comes down, right, you can definitely see us trending on the Nasdaq on that 4 or on that 8 moving average. You can definitely see that we're touching it and we're bouncing off of it indefinitely. One of the things I always love to do is see where there used to be a supply zone for us to come up, push above it, and then push up, right? This is that retestment of the previous highs so that they find support to push the market up. So I do look forward to that. So when I'm looking then, now let's look at Bitcoin here, see if we see a correlation, right? This was the area, actually this would have been more of the area off of that. Bitcoin did not have a gap here, whereas on the NASDAQ, we had a gap at that level. And so that's why, but we're definitely seeing a continuation and a following of the Nasdaq and S&P 500. And in addition to that, I think we even see more of an exaggerated candles at times, right? Because Bitcoin has a has volatility that actually really its volatility basically moves it in a way where it's almost exaggerated movements of the traditional markets, right? Whereas maybe the markets may move 1 or 2%, 3%. We'll see, 10, 15, 20% moves within these moves to a point where it's very exaggerated movement. So you can capitalize on that within within the market based off of that by seeing the movement. So it's kind of cool. Now, yesterday when we were talking, I had mentioned that we had started to find support right in this area here, right on that 8 moving average. And so I had mentioned that if the market starts to find support and we start to see higher highs and higher lows and following up this 4 moving or the 8 moving average here, right, that we want to maybe consider going long, right? And I think it was right here when I went when I was saying consider going long, but then wait for a retracement back into this area here to then um, go along with the moving average. I think I want to say it was actually right here. It doesn't seem right. Maybe it was right in this area. It came down, and then I remember just saying, guys, look for it to hold on this 8 and then follow it up. So with that said, you can see how the market did continue up, how it started to find support on that 8 and then continued up. I went through kind of like from the 4-hour to the 2-hour. You just start from the 4-hour to the 5-minute, how you guys could capitalize on that. You can see here that we did start to put in higher highs and higher lows. Hence why we started to move up. We started clearing these moving averages and moving up above it. Here we go. Same thing. Now, I have some major resistance levels here to be mindful of, guys. We have this 21, 33.9 to the 21 300 to 21 39 area, right? Where we have I believe this is a 4-hour supply zone that I'm looking at right here. Yeah, so it's a 4-hour supply zone. And additionally to that, we have the 50 moving average sitting right here on the weekly, and then we have the monthly stuff up in this area. So we also have the 200 period moving average. Or was it no, that's what it was. It was the monthly monthly moving average sitting right here, and then we have the weekly 200 period moving average sitting right in this direction. So be mindful of these. So as we're moving up, don't get caught, right? And these are right in a bunch of demand, or these are right in a bunch of supply zones. So making sure that you're paying attention to that, to these turning points. These things do fluctuate, so it could go through, hit it, and then see a sell-off, and then come back, retest it, and push through. But just being understanding that if you're in that process of going long, right now, because the market is moving up, but you're coming up to some higher time frame, like Bollinger Bands, right? If you're looking at your monthly Bollinger Bands and you have your mid-level, right, sitting at a certain point, or if you're looking at your monthly Fibonacci sequences, right, and you have a monthly percentage where it's coming into a reversal area, you want to be mindful of those areas, right? Because the bigger the time frame of those, the stronger and more purchasing power that it has within the market. It's important to understand that. So when I'm looking at the market here, whenever you've had a major kind of push up within crypto, we know that we do have some major selling off to come back, recapture buyers, and then a continuation of this movement. So you can see here, I think I want to say it was right in this area when I really, it would have been right here in this area from last, because I was live basically from 1300 to so it would have been actually 700. That's what it is. Boom. 7, 11. Here we go. It would have been yeah, about 8 o'clock right here is where I would be looking at. So it's saying it's right in this area here. We were putting in higher highs and higher lows. I said the first resistance level was going to be around the 26 or 2600, and then the next one would be up in this area at that 21.3. So it's important just to look at that area here, engage that we are coming into this area, and just be mindful of it. just simply because of what's actually going on in the markets. We are coming up into these resistant levels here. And just be, make sure you know what's going on. You can see here that we do have a previous high. I thought that we were going to push through this and then come back and retest. So we'll find out what happens here in a few. Now let's go ahead and go to the Ethereum. Let's go to Ethereum here. I didn't think that we were going to push through the 50-period moving average here, which was I believe, the weekly moving average. No, this is the monthly. So yeah, this is the monthly moving average. So you guys can see that we were definitely sitting right here. So the market did come up, push right through it, and now we're at the 200-period moving average on the weekly, right, for Ethereum. So we are testing this right now as we speak. Let's see if it's going to hold. It's held a couple times already right here. So it's pierced it, but it did sell off when we did put in a lower low right here. So let's see if this does hold it, and or see if it does hold and then comes back down. We want to see if it's going to retest this area down in this area here. So let's go ahead and we'll go into the smaller time frames, because as you guys see, I did mark out the ascending triangle, which was sitting right in this area here. You can see here how we did come up, we pushed above it, and then we came down and we tested right in this area. So this right here is I would say, a good area of support that we could see the price come back into this area and then maybe continue its upward direction for the time being. I'm gonna keep this here, just the gauge, to see where we're going to move and continue up going. Alrighty, guys. So then, as we move to the daily on the Ethereum, you guys will see it looks pretty much the same thing. That we're having higher highs and higher lows. We do have the supply zone sitting right here at this level. So be mindful of this area here. If we're going to hit this and see if it turns around, we very much could see us stepping in and finding support on that 200-period moving average. And by that time, we should see the 4-hour and 1 day. Oh, come on. 4-hour and 1 day. We might see the 8 back in this area. If we go up and kind of consolidate and go down, see it push up into this area, come turn around and come back and test this 8 moving average, or come back and test a few of these other ones. So these are just, like I said, turning points for a day trader to be able to gauge of turning points, so you can capitalize on the movements. As we see here, let's go ahead and go into BNB. BNB is pretty similar. We busted right through this moving average, or excuse me, the supply zone here. This is a daily. Yeah, we hit it back here. I thought if we were going to put in a lower high or a lower low, we probably this would have held, but it did not. So we could see then a retracement. We did see a retracement back down into this area, but we're coming up into that 200-period moving average on the 4-hour. So pay attention to this. We could see another sell-off back down to this area here, or a continuation up to the next turning point, which is right here. Wait for us to push through, come back, retest, and then continue up. Pretty similar on the 2-hour. We're hitting that 400-period moving average. Now, important to understand, we also are hitting the supply zone right here. So we're going to see if this holds. Okay, so make sure you guys are mindful of that. As you see right here, it's the same thing. So, pardon me. It's a drink. I make up my own morning tea. Put in clove, allspice, ginger, and a few other things. So it's a bit bitter. I'm also put green tea in it. It's good for the soul.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds worse than coffee.
It it definitely definitely is. Woo.
I'll stick with coffee. You can keep that over there. I'll
Uh,
hold on to my coffee over here.
it's one of those things that I have to admit though, it just is good for my joints. It's basically a tea that is, I mean, I put turmeric in it. I throw in some ground black peppercorn pepper, freshly ground, to help for the absorption of turmeric. It's good. It is good for the soul. So it's good for my body. If you have a lot of inflammation or that you guys are dealing with, it's something that just to pay attention to drink. So I personally like it. I've over the years studied what's the word I'm looking for? Seasonings and things like that and what they do to the body. I remember in my 20s hearing this podcast. This guy was talking about how we underrate teas. There's so many micronutrients in it that the body needs. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe we should pay attention to that. So over the years, I just started accumulating just understanding and knowledge of teas and herbs. So, yeah, anyways, that's besides the point. Um, but as you guys can see here, that going down into the details of BNB, we are hitting the supply zone. Let's see what happens here if we do have another sell-off similar to this. If we do have another sell-off similar to this, be looking for the previous supply area that will probably turn into demand. So understanding that and gauging where the markets may come down to. I'm going to delete this for just a second. And like we've talked about and previously, that we know that Bitcoin or BNB is definitely stronger than Bitcoin. It's still above that 50-period moving average. So it's one of those things to be mindful. Man, I've got this fly flying around, so I apologize if you guys can see that as well. Josh, can you guys see the fly on the
I cannot see the fly,
sorry.
but he's
All right,
coming
all right.
for you, huh?
Oh, he's just flying. He's like, bink. So, all right, so here we go. So maybe look to this area right here for a retracement, and also back in this area here. So you can see here that this is where this daily zone is where I'm looking down at. You know, we can definitely see how the market would definitely come down into this area and definitely look. We have the 8-period moving average as well, where we might come back and retest into this area and put in a higher low and continue as a higher high. So see what happens, but we are retesting this area on BNB. It's nice. Here we go. And let's check out where is Solana. So I know a lot of people are really digging off of Solana. They've got a lot of good things coming in from my fundamental perspective, from a business perspective. I like them. When I'm looking at the markets and their movement up, you guys can see here that we definitely came down, tested this area of demand or a buyer wick, and now we are continuing up. So we have that 50-period moving average. This 50-period moving average, as you guys can see, it's sitting in a supply zone demand. So making sure that you understand that we could hit this and then see it turn around in this spot. Give me 1 second. So this spot here is somewhere where we have the 50-period moving average stepping in this area, as well as we have some higher time frame SMAs like the 8 moving average sitting right here on the weekly, I believe. It is down. So you guys can see that, we put this here at the beginning of the week, so you can definitely see as the market is coming up to this area that the simple moving average is definitely coming to meet here. We placed this up here, now it's running down to here. So it's important to be able to see that the market is definitely moving, and that they're coming to this is going to be retested. So this is important to see. But you also have that 50 period moving average sitting in this zone. So now that I see that, guys, that's something that you guys need to be mindful of, that 50 and that 8 moving average sitting in Solana right here. You can definitely see a turnaround here, or just touching the zone and seeing this come back down even further. Like I've said, I do see that we have buyers down at the 1817 mark, and then also at that 10 and 9, and as well as the 2 and $2 and 180 mark, as we've looked at. So looking at these things, we could definitely see maybe a turnaround here on Solana, excuse me, and gauge which way the market's going to go from here. From an intraday perspective, let's go ahead and look at to see, yeah. Let's see. Not so good. Actually, from intraday perspective, there's not a lot of indicators here saying that this could turn around from here. But because you have those higher time frame moving averages, I can see it's definitely hitting this area. And the fact is that this is a daily zone. It speaks louder to me than anything else. So, yeah, I don't see us. It's going to be very hard to hit those. It's going to take at least a day or two for us to turn around, come down, and then come back up. Because you've got that 8 on top of that. You've also got that 50 period moving average on the daily. So, yeah, it's going to be hard for it to get through. Let's check out Matic here real quick. Okay, so here is that weekly moving average sitting right here. We have the 8. Definitely touching it. We are testing it here. As you guys can see, we're going to find out if it will push through this area. But as you guys can see that we have not, we haven't pushed through hard with a ton of volume. We did put in a bunch of volume to hit it. As you guys can see, it is not, you can see that it's dropping off. So that's always not a good sign, but it could be that it comes back down and pushes back up. So we'll find out what happens here. Here's this daily zone. So you guys can check this out here on Matic. I remember speaking with the community talking about the this market here coming down to the 31, 36 area. We are putting in a lower high, might potentially put in a higher high. So these areas here, guys, you know, maybe get in dollar cost average and see what's actually going on. Let's go ahead and check out the intraday here and check out to see if we're having some major volume step in. Oh yeah, we definitely are, man. Look at this right here. Volume's kicking like Van Dam. Yeah. Anyways, and so we definitely are moving up. How far is this thing going to go? It's going to be interesting to see how we push up to this point. Are we going to pull a bull flag, as we see right here, where we saw the shoot up, and then the flag step in right here? Boom, boom. Is this going to push it to this area and then basically put in a bull flag where it eats up all these sellers, then it continues up? Or we're going to have a retracement down into the supportive area here. We'll see what happens. Here we go. This is another junctional point. It's the same thing, but we're definitely, like I said, we're seeing definitely some high volume stepping in within the last 2 candles. So you can see right here that they did push it up right here, and then they sold it off, right? And so they were just accumulating. So are they going to start accumulate, push this up, and then accumulate up here? We'll find out. Boom. And then let's go into Litecoin. Litecoin is sitting at this point. You can see we hit our zone right here. We did rally up. We came down into this area, blew through the zone, but it looks like it's somewhat holding as well. So um, one second here, guys. So the weekly, we're definitely coming up on that weekly to test the 8 moving average. I can see it's coming up to this area. Definitely. We should be, if Litecoin was stronger, we should be seeing Litecoin kind of come up to this area, because a lot of the other like BNB and a few of the other coins that we're seeing, the major coins, they're coming up. They should be coming up to this area. We should be seeing like the smaller coins even riding higher. So the fact is that we're seeing Litecoin kind of lag behind here is it's an indicator. But I don't know. I can see Litecoin dropping off from this moment here, our zone, and then maybe even following through down to this 30, 39 mark here. So yeah, this is interesting. What we're seeing with Litecoin. Litecoin is definitely looking like it's starting to go down from this junction point. Be mindful of that, guys. Let's go check out our 4-hour to see where we can engage. So we can see here that we're hitting this 8 moving average right here, right? So we want to find where the trend is being, where we can get in on that trend, right? So what moving average? Okay, so you can see here on that 50, the 50 is starting to hold. We did hit this right here. Is it this one that's going to hold and see a sell-off? $200. It is showing strength. So maybe come back down for an intermittent trade. Wait for it to see what it's going to do with this 8. If we see it cut through this 8 period moving average, right, and then come back up on that 30-minute and retest this, be mindful of that. And in conjunction with that, you also want to be looking at the 50 period moving average sitting on this 4-hour. Is it's going to hold it? So you need to be making sure that you're gauging what is happening. Are we putting in lower highs and lower lows on this point, or are we just simply kind of putting in a higher low, right? By it coming down and then moving forward. Meaning, like if you look at our 30-minute, we're seeing that it's putting in higher lows and higher highs, right? Like from here, we see, well, I guess consolidation period. We're definitely seeing higher lows at this point. So they just put in this new higher high here. So be mindful of that, maybe coming down. So like I said, you have some resistance up in this area, but us coming down, it very much could come down just simply because I'm not seeing a bunch of buyer wicks explaining to me that it's going to continue to come down, find support, and move up. I could see it maybe coming down to the 48 to find support. So I really do see us maybe blowing through this area coming down. We'll find out. I think that 50 period moving average is going to hold on the daily. Now let's look at Crow here real quick. Crow. Let me jump to the monthly real quick. that I do see here with Crow is that we are seeing on that monthly basis a decrease in volume here. And in addition to that, we're also seeing the volume here on the bearish candles drop off. So somebody be paying attention to making sure that you guys are looking at that as one point. We did just put in that 8-period moving average right here. So I could definitely see some type of testing at that 29.45 area, or sitting at the 15 area right here. So yeah, make sure that you guys are paying attention to that. Actually, this is the 15 area. All right. Here we go. It's sitting at that 32 area, 32.94 area. You can definitely see some resistance level stepping in, especially with Crow. But I think Crow is probably one of those one of the undervalued coins as well. I mean, all of them are undervalued within the top 20, 30. So that's really interesting to see this.
Crow is definitely something I'm going to start dollar cost averaging into for sure. It's on a
Yeah.
pretty severe discount.
Yeah. I definitely been looking at Crow for a minute, just simply because I sit here and I see, like, dude, they're making so many strategic partnerships, right? They're partnering with banks, they're partnering with businesses. They've got so much cash flow and they're making smart decisions. Like, they've stopped going through and, with a lot of the coins, right, that were staked, they were basically, that was money being paid out to them, right, or to their people, which is great. But as a business, they're kind of losing money, right? And so they've pulled back. They pulled back on the staking and said, we're not going to stake for the current time right now because of market conditions. And that's a wise thing to do as a business, right? Like, not good for the retail investor, right? Because I want more of those coins. But from an actual business standpoint, it's brilliant. They're like, no, I think they want to conserve capital, right? So that they can purchase more coins up for their own business, right? I think one of the reasons why we've seen a big push of marketing for them and why they had the money to do that is because they really, I think they purchased a lot of, Shiba Inu. They purchased a lot of these other coins, right? At a really low point back in 2017. So when we had the market drop there. So I think that's really positioned them when we had the other rally, right? That they were able to take the dividends slash, or not dividends, but the staking or the reflections from a lot of these coins that they have within their system, and able to go through and make money. So it's just really interesting to see what they're doing. Right? I don't know how they purchase their coins. I don't know if they purchase the coins from the actual coin themselves, right, where they have their own wallet, or does the protocol give them coins so that, like, if anybody knows how they actually have their business model, that'd be great. I'd love to hear it. But yeah, but I think they purchased so much. They had so much going on that they definitely were able to put. I definitely am buying. I hope they're not one of the exchanges that are basically belly up, but nobody knows about it. Because that would just suck. They're such a juggernaut within the crypto world that I think it'd be equivalent to like Bear Stearns going under when we saw the 2008 crash. So we'll find out what happens. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and hope that doesn't happen, shall we? That sounds unnecessary.
Yeah, but you just don't know. Like, you don't,
That
I'm
is
like,
the perk of this area, though. That is the crypto space. Is nobody
I mean,
knows. That's part of the fun.
yeah, well, that was the part that was so crazy, that to realize that how over leveraged was Three Arrows Capital, right? 3AC got, or what was it? The last one that just happened the other day went belly up, right? Um, it was an exchange. They were way over leveraged. That's the thing here, right? It's like, and this is what happened in 2008, right? Which is over leveraging. So you're not going to stop banks from over leveraging or exchanges, right? But I just can only hope that there is some sound judgment and wisdom in that. So they do stop being an idiot. We will find out. So here we go. Here's the weekly 8 moving average. We saw it already drop from here from the first part, right, of the week. We had it set up here. Now it's down to here. So we're definitely seeing some of the moving averages definitely stepping in to catch up into the market. We can see, 1 second. Right here. So here's that previous high or the previous market or the previous low. That's this point right here. So this is 25-cent mark. So I think we'll definitely have some type of sell-off at this point. Just simply because it's, even though it's not the previous low, and I know that, just from a psychological perspective, most people looking at this, seeing this, who maybe got long at this area, could definitely see them definitely getting out of position that they maybe are underwater. But I do like Crow. I am an investor in Crow myself with them. So I really hope that they are a strong company, right? I do. We'll find out what happens, and I think they are. I think because of all the partnerships that they do have with a lot of institutions, with firms, they've got to be doing fairly good, I think, and they've been running their business well. So it's interesting to see what's going on. We'll look at this daily here.
FTX has been doing pretty good too.
Yeah, absolutely. FTX. Yeah, I'm loving FTX. What's up, Brinks? How you doing? We see you in. We see you.
Good, doing good, great. How about you?
Good. Are
Hey,
you? Your video is on. You know that, right?
Yeah, I accidentally did that. But thank you for letting me know.
Yes. Definitely.
Just glad I had it facing my computer instead of anything important.
This is true. I'm just finishing up Crow here real quick. So short of is that we definitely put in a higher low here. We are definitely seeing not a lot of volume step in on these days. So I do have a more or less thought process of us seeing this turn around and come down into the 9-cent mark area again. If that does not hold, I could definitely see us coming then down into that 8 and 6 mark. So, and I'll go over that when we go into probably tomorrow. I'll go into where we can see if this does fall down, where we could see it. The reason why I say that is simply because if you look at our volume isn't super strong. We'll find out today, after the end of the day, if we have higher amounts of volume coming in, it might change my sentiment in the market here. And then one last one here real quick I already did Matic. Okay. So we can see here, are coming to this area. We are sitting at this part where we're hitting that 8 moving average. We are hitting that 50 period moving average as well. Literally, we are testing it right now. So is it going to come up and then create a wick and then see a sell-off? We very much could see. Let's check out more on the 30-minute, or if we'll start 2-hour. Let's look at that. Volume is strong with this one. Okay, let's see what happens. 15. We definitely have more buyers stepping in though. And we are following this 8 moving average on that 15-minute. Make sure you're mindful of this. If we break below this 8, come back and wait for a retest. Maybe we should bounce off of that 20 retest. Now, I'm not seeing a bunch of buyer wicks step in on any of these higher time frames. So that's always one of those things that I always think we're going to come back and retest in this area. So anyways, so Brink, how you doing? And Josh, we also have Josh type X with us. So how's your week been, man? How's how have your picks been? Are you looking at anything cool?
Yeah. Last night, I found and vetted a pretty interesting looking project
First, give me the
that,
negatives.
that's launching next week. What was your question?
Give us the negatives on it, so that we definitely have, because sometimes I always tell people, look, I'd rather, because I really want to be more of a realistic. I don't want to be one of those shows that, we've talked about this, where we hype a coin, right, and then boom, we see something on it. But I do, but I'm not. But I'm also not a fool to know that, hey, there are a lot of positive to these coins too as well. But first, give us the negatives and see what's going on with it, and then we'll check out
So,
the positives.
so as you know, typically,
You do
my negatives are 10 times the amount of positives,
Yes,
right?
yes, absolutely, yes.
This
Well,
one, this one's actually the opposite. There's only one concern that I really have, and it's not even that big of a concern, other than we're in a bear market.
wow.
Yeah. But obviously, in my opinion, even a project with no red flags, it is still degen to me, and
Yeah,
until it actually proves itself over the test of time. That there's
absolutely.
always a risk, because I've seen projects that like, even to my criteria, look like they had a chance of doing well. Oh, sorry. Let me just mute myself, because I have a lot of notifications coming in. I'm gonna just mute them real quick.
It's all good. It's all good. So, like I said, Brinks is part of Vetter. It's a Vetter platform. He's a purple Vetter, which one of their top ranked Vetters. And so I know that you lead like a small little group that basically you guys all communicate and talk, and you guys vet projects together as well. So I understand how you guys are always talking and running ideas as well. Plus, what you have going on with Tribe 100X and their whole entire system. It's I know it can be a bit yeah. There's a lot of information coming in always. So very interesting.
Okay, back. Sorry about that. So, like I was saying, even like, until a project, especially in a bear market, I consider everything degen, because you need to have new money coming in to the market. So like, a project would be really good in launching a bear market, and not really. It almost looked like a rug pull, but without the team draining liquidity, just because people panic sell as soon as it launches, that got in early, if there's not enough buy pressure.
Yeah.
but so obviously, not financial advice, but this project, the only red flag I really see with it is, I've seen so many NFT marketplaces. I've seen so many NFT marketplaces that really don't do anything. Like, they try, but they don't know how to actually do it effectively. So like, that they tailor to people that just have the hot word of NFT, so it launches, pumps, but then as soon as they start seeing a red candle, everybody just sells, and the project pretty much rugs itself.
Yeah. Pretty much.
The reason that it's not a huge concern to me with this project, it is because this one, it has a strong team.
Right.
I'm not sure if you've heard of the project Meta Ruffy, or
No, I
Meta
have not
Ruffy.
yet.
So,
Meta Rupee.
I don't really know too much about the project, but they did very well, and all I really know about the parent project is it's a metaverse. So,
Okay.
so
Well, let me pull them up on
Yeah, let me try to find their short. Hold on, I have a call coming in. I'll be right back. Sorry.
So it's Meta Roofie. And also, let me,
That's what
while
it sounded
we're
like you
waiting,
said.
yeah, I'm actually going to read this here real quick as well as a disclaimer. All right, guys. So this is a disclaimer: no investment advice. The information provided on this video and website and live stream does not constitute as investment advice, financial advice, trading advice, or any other sort of advice, and should not treat any of the video and website content as such. I, Mean Chain Capital, and Moonrock guests do not recommend that any cryptocurrency or any other assets that are mentioned should be bought, sold, or held by the viewer or listener. Do conduct your own due diligence and consult a financial advisor before making any investments decisions. I am not a financial advisor, nor any of the people that we have on here are financial advisors. Just want to make sure you want to throw that out personally. Financial advisor. Please consult your financial advisor before making any decisions or any investment decisions. I am not a financial advisor, and this content is only meant for professional, or excuse me, my eyes jumped there for a second. And this content is only meant for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a tax profession on any gains or losses as a result of investing into crypto or any assets invested in. This is not financial advice, but is for entertainment and social educational purposes only. All right, talk to us, Brink. So it was Meta who?
He must still be on a call.
I think it said Meta Roofie.
Sounded like Meta Roofie, but
There we go, Meta Roofie. Here we go.
where'd you find it? CoinGecko?
No, CoinMarketCap.
What was that? CoinMarketCap.
All right, so yeah, so from its inception, it was at 4029-ish area, and then went up. It dropped to 0 and went to 56. So it looks like it did a pretty good X. I believe that's 1, 2, yeah, four zeros, and they dropped 1 0. So it looks like they did a 50x, I believe. If I think or is that 100 or boom, or 10x? Maybe they did a 10x from here, and then they slowly just started going down. Some major buying right here in the fourth on April area. Yeah, some really big buys coming in. But as you guys can see here, though, that this is definitely dropping. So I don't know. Is this just simply? Let's try CoinGecko here.
If you're trying to show charts, nobody can see charts, or at least I can't. I'm just looking at your beautiful
Oh,
face.
shoot. I am trying to. Thank you so much. That is good to know.
Yes, sir. I didn't know if we were supposed to look in the reflections of your eyes, or I wasn't sure how we were supposed to look at it. I do have one very important question though for you, Pedro.
Absolutely. What's up?
Why do you have a rolling pin on your back shelf back there? Is that in case you lose a trade? You just beat the pillow or beat somebody up with it, or what's that unit for?
I actually love that. It's great. I actually purposely have that. So in life, we all have kinks, right? And so what a rolling pin does is it rolls out the dough, and you work the dough with the rolling pin, right? And you throw more flour in, and you work it out, right? You have to roll it out and smooth out the details in life. So that's always there as a reminder that you have to work out. Trading is not an exact science. It's kind of like art, right? And so you need to make sure you have distinct rules for yourself, but you have to work it out. And so
I like it.
It's really important. I also have one of my favorite books is Ordering Your Private World by Gordon. I forget I can't. McDonald. I like that book. It's really important to me. It's helped me out quite a bit. I have major AD, or I had major ADD, and I've definitely worked it out. And I've seen some major things in my own personal life really just do phenomenal stuff by just ordering it. Like my own life is definitely set up into a better thing. So I'm huge on just order. You don't have to be, a Nazi behind it where, everything, but maybe that's not the good word to use. You don't have to be anal retentive
Yeah.
on ordering your life. But I'm a huge proponent in, get up in the morning, have a set routine, do what you normally do because that can really help on a subconscious mind. It puts wins in your bucket for the day, even if you have just a crappy day. Your order, right? It's like you followed your order, so that's a huge thing, right? Whether it's your calendar, your schedule, or like you get up, you do push-ups, you make your bed, you shave, just these little things. Just you brush your teeth. People don't realize, right? Like if you brush your teeth, even though I wouldn't call that a win, but you're accomplishing things that are important, that are helpful for you, right? One thing that I actually just learned from Tom Bailu off one of his thing and from one of his podcasts, when it comes to putting in mouthwash, don't do it. It kills off all the bacteria in your mouth that actually helps with a bunch of stuff they just found out. So you might want to hold off on using your mouthwash. And
I've heard about that.
yeah, did you hear about that?
Yeah, yeah, I've heard there's stories about they're thinking that because mouthwash does have its benefits, but you're supposed to
Absolutely.
only use it during certain times. Like when you first wake up in the morning, if you use mouthwash, but you're supposed to brush your teeth after you eat first thing in the morning, not before you eat. So there's like weird rules, but I've heard of that. It's interesting.
Yeah, they're finding some major stuff. The bacteria in your mouth helps with the bacteria in your gut. Also helps with neurological. Um, uh, it makes you smarter. They just realize that it helps make you smarter, and helps out. Give me 1 second. See what's going on here. Yeah, it brings. Are you there, bud? What's going on?
No. He said he had a phone call, so it might be pretty important. I'm gonna I'm actually finally sitting down. I'd like to. I'm really sorry I wasn't in here talking so much. I'm catching up at work. I took a couple days off for recovery, so I'm
And
finally
what
sitting
happened?
down.
What happened, my friend?
I was just, a little combo sick. Whole family was sick. It was just a rough couple days, rough weekend into a couple days. So looks like we're all recovered now, but it was just a cluster of excitement for sure. We were thinking like maybe COVID, but it wasn't COVID. Whatever it was a nasty kid flu of some kind. My youngest went and played with a bunch of other kids, and I think she brought it home. So
Man, that stinks, man. That can put you out with the quickness.
yeah, I was really hoping like, all right, well, I'm going to take this sickness to sit down and put in a couple more trades because I got this new concept that I've been working with, and I was only able to put one trade in. I was only able to be focused enough and up to speed to do one trade, and I was like, all right, I gotta go lay down. I can't be doing this right now.
Oh wow.
So I'm liking it. Bollinger Bands, my friend, I like them. They're good for the
Yeah.
scalping.
Yeah.
Yep, I've
It's
back tested it multiple times. It seems to work really well. I've used the trade, the idea uh, 4 times, and all 4 times have been victorious. So downside is it only works. It only happens every so often during the day, or the rules that I have set
yes.
only happen so many times a day. So, but
That's good.
when they happen, it wins. So, uh, I upped my ante in my account to now hold on to your pants here.
Okay.
$20.
Oh, dude, I'm freaking proud of you, man.
20 bucks.
You're moving up.
Man. Yep. Did 20 bucks and put in a trade, and after 20, I think it took me 25 minutes to complete my trade, and I was up $1.73 or something like that.
I
That's good.
love it.
It's
I
working.
love it. I love it. I love it. You know, it's all about them rules. You know, understanding where your rules and how they interact in conjunction with it. It's so important.
Yep.
So
The downside with my rules is it only works for shorts. I need to find a way to make it work the other way around. I need to be able to do longs. I can't just work in a. I mean, as much as I like to make money in the bear market, making money the other way is pretty nice too.
yeah, absolutely. I would agree. Yeah, both ways, long and short. It's what's nice to be able to play. I wish we could on Pancake Swap or Pool Coin with the micro caps. If you could short and long on these, actually, I think it would actually be good. I know it sounds weird, but a
That would
lot
be
of
cool.
times you could go short and then buy, sell off your short and then buy it, and so that would actually put in really, really strong um, floors for a lot of these micro coins. So,
Yep.
you know,
They'd have a lot more activity too.
oh, absolutely. I feel like you would have so much more activity. Um, but you would need to be able to figure out how, you would have to register with a pair that you could short against, right, or go long as you're shorting this other coin. So, I mean, if BNB, if we could actually do that by connecting BNB with Pool Coin, right? And when you do that, if you wanted to short, you could go long on that coin, on Bitcoin, on BNB, right? Or I don't think that would work. Shoot, I'm trying to think how you could actually work this out. They're tied.
Where you can long and short at the same time.
No, so when you short, shorting is basically where you borrow something, right? But
Mm-hmm.
in the same sense, it's hello, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah,
We
I
good?
can hear you. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I was just seeing that things did just start to. Give me 1 second. Let me see what's going on with my friend here.
Back. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's all
Hey,
right.
there he is.
All right, go. All right, so I guess I'm looking up uh, Meta Roofie, and
Uh
so yeah, I see it here.
huh.
They're definitely at their lows here, and but it's a metaverse. You're saying?
Yeah. So, from my understanding, they're a metaverse project. So the reason that my concern is more minimal than with most NFT marketplace projects. The reason my concern is more minimal than most of those type of projects it is because with Luber, Loobr, I'm not sure if I said it correctly or not, but that's a project that their marketplace is going to be the go-to spot to buy the in-game, the in-metaverse NFTs for Meta Roofie.
So what's the name of the actual coin?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's spelled Loobr. So I just call it Luber.
All right, so Lima Oscar Bravo Romeo.
Correct.
Yeah, it's not even in there. They haven't launched it yet, correct?
Correct. They haven't launched it yet. I can send you their Telegram.
Yeah, well, go. Let's talk about it. Give us some positives, some negatives, and what your thoughts are on it, and then why you're looking at this. Obviously, there's some utility to it, but do they have any outside businesses that they're looking? Obviously, starting their own metaverse is a way to bring and generate income.
Yeah. So
But
their metaverse is their business.
there's, and I'm going to throw this out there, but there are a lot of metaverses out there, right? There's a lot of things with this same type of.
Correct. So there is a lot of competition, but when you really look at most metaverse projects, but like scroll into like their launch period, but like scroll into like that very first like pump and red candle.
Right
so typically like that red candle on most metaverse projects that I see, that very first set of red candles, it is typically good, where it just like dies, but where it just goes up at the launch, red candle, red candle, red candle, and then it just goes way beyond the pre-sale. An initial launch price, and that never even went down to it, and then it just had a massive pump, a correction. So what looks like this team is actually doing something that most metaverse projects don't do.
Now, how are they able to bring in, like, do they have any major influencers that are backing them? Or are they just primarily just,
That part I'm not sure, but like another good sign is when I was in the Telegram asking questions, their community members, like they didn't even need like the mods to be or team members to really be around. That they were around to answer questions, but a lot of people were very welcoming in the kit community. People were telling me they got into Meta Roofie day one, never sold the token. That they don't plan to any time soon. So it seems like they have a very strong kit community as well.
can I go? I mean, is their metaverse out yet?
That part I'm not sure, because like I said, I haven't looked much into Meta Roofie yet. So because I just did my initial research last night, that their marketing budget it is 500,000, and influencers will be paid in BNB or USD, not in their own token. but which is another good signal.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about. Why is that a good signal? So that influencers don't dump on the actual project, correct?
Yeah, because I'm not sure how true it is, but from videos I've seen about like Safe Moon, what was there's a big controversy between like people that got in later with Safe Moon than anything else, because most of their big influencers that had a lot to do with their massive success in the short term were paid in token. Were paid in Safe Moon tokens.
Yeah.
So in a way, they use their influence to manipulate the price. So like they would pump the price, but by nonstop talking about the project, then they would dump their token. But wait for a dip, but by the dip, then they would start showing the token again. So what a lot of influencers do if they get paid in token in a project's token, they'll continuously show the project until it pumps enough for them to be satisfied with their with their
Profit.
gain, because like say a project offers $2,000 BUSD or $2,000 of the token, then they coordinate with the other influencers, and all the influencers are like, well, let's just pump it till it's at a 10x. Then they turn that 2,000 to 20,000, sell, and then the price just dumps. Like it's good for a short term pump, but
Yeah.
then the project will just dump in the long term.
I definitely. I mean, the thing is this for me. It's really at a low market cap here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this is, and I know that Moonrock's at a low market cap as well, so I get that. But they're coming out with this new coin, right? It's a market. So it's the marketplace. It works with the metaverse.
Correct.
And it's the NFT, but
So the marketplace token is going to the marketplace token is going to be a rewards token in Meta Rupee. So that'll help with creating benefit to Meta Rupee, but buying up that token to pay the rewards to the holders of the metaverse. I mean, of the NFT token. So it's so they're going to be working together to a degree.
Okay. How many holders do they have still?
For Meta Rupee?
Yeah.
Let me check real quick.
Because everything is really surrounded around Meta Rupee, right? It's not even about that market. The marketplace. So they also could just be out of, money. And so they have to raise it through the secondary coin for the NFT. Now, is the NFT marketplace created yet?
I think that they have at least a beta bit because on their pink sale page, there's about a 45-minute long video, where the CEO's talking about the project. It's definitely like a sales pitch, like he's trying to hype up the project, but he does go over their dashboard and how it works. So I think to a degree it'll be ready for the launch. Another thing I like is that they're getting it CertiK audited. It's at about 95% complete, and they expect to have the completed CertiK audit but by the launch.
Okay.
So a good signal in my opinion.
That's a very good signal, right? Like that's a different story now, right?
Yeah, I probably should have led with that one.
Yeah, that's the one that I should have heard first. Certain backed, because for me, I'm like, well, what deans them? Like this doesn't any of the. I mean, I don't. You don't know if they're. You don't know if they have a metaverse yet. You don't know if the marketplace is out yet. So, was the marketplace birthed out? Was it in the original white paper, like what they were going to do, or is it something that just popped up?
But with Meta Rupee?
Yeah.
That I'm not sure. I assume that they had it. Let me check their roadmap on their website to see.
Actually, give me 1 second. So I'm gonna look them up here real quick. I have them up here. Launch pads. No, they're not a launch pad. What are they? Is it a private sale that I'm looking up, or is it
pre-sale?
Where's the pre-sales? Private sale. Lock, airdrop. Is it under launch pads, right? No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not create launchpad, create fair launch, create. I don't want
What? One more down. No, right above private sale. What launchpad list? At the bottom of the launchpad tabs.
launchpad. Launchpad list. Sorry.
Right
There
there.
we go.
No problem.
And we're gonna say when it's loop, LOOPR.
Correct. B is in boy. That's it.
Pre-sale here. Now, are you at all looking at also Solana or anything else outside of BSC?
So yeah, on their roadmap that they did have marketplace, the NFT marketplace, as one of their things on the roadmap.
Got it. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, it's a 40.
Yeah, like I said, it's a pretty long video. It's a lot of hype based
Got it.
stuff going on.
Has he done any other projects out there besides Metaroofy?
The only one I'm aware of is Metaroofy. On the Metaroofy website, that there's a bunch of people from the team that they are also doxxed through LinkedIn, and they look like legitimate profiles to me. But like they do just have like animated avatars, but that they actually have legitimate looking LinkedIn profiles.
That's what that's important. So let me check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your website? Pre-sale filled in a few seconds. Coin rise. Tokenomics. I understand how important marketing is here. Okay, total supply. How are they? So they're launching in this bear market. So I don't understand why they're launching in this bear market. Do they feel as if this recent push up is going to be important?
But my guess is that they're just confident that they'll do well regardless of the market because although we're in a bear market and not everything is pumping like it was in the bull market at the launches. I've been finding projects that have been still doing pretty well and having pretty successful launches in the bear cycle.
Got it.
So just as long as the team knows what they're doing, that they should be able to do pretty well.
That's pretty fun.
Huh?
Nothing right here. Not the bigger one eats the smaller one. The faster one eats the slower one. All right, shoot. It's got some decent stuff. just trying to see where his
So are we
connections
blindly aping into this one or what?
Absolutely.
100%.
This one is a white list only project. The only way that I'm aware to be able to get a whitelist spot is by buying Meta Rupee and staking it is, but I'm not sure like how long in advance, how many tokens,
throw
things like
$100.
that for it.
I mean, I might throw $100 in just to see what happens with it. I mean,
Mhm.
right now the price is so low. On where's Poolcoin? On Poolcoin, I mean, it's it's pretty much at its low. So
Looks like it's starting to try to form up higher lows as well.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was looking at. Like we're definitely have higher lows, higher highs.
And higher highs too.
Yeah. So see what happens. I mean, can't I mean, even $50, $50 to $100 can't hurt me. I mean, I probably am going to do that myself. Let me put in something here real quick to see. Sell that in. Check this here real quick. Boom. Thanks. We got a lot of work going on outside of my house. I want to apologize for the extra noise that you guys are hearing.
Really can't hear too much. I think you're all right.
Yeah, I don't hear it either. Your headphones must be pretty good.
Yeah, they have a good canceling system out, so it's actually pretty good. So, all right, so this is my biggest thing, though. So it did get above the A. It did sell off to it. I want to see this step bend. You can see that it's actually following the sell-off here. So I can, it all depends. It's got to hold this area here. This is really where I'm looking for it to hold from me, right?
To see if it's going to test that support the third time.
Yeah. This right here is a good indication of, like, and this was the previous high, so you can sit and see there that the definitely have right here. So not bad. I'll definitely, but I just don't like that big sell-off here. I would want to go into the, was this just a big whale who just got disgruntled and sold off, or is this bunch of holders that just left? So one thing I wish we could see is a graph of holders coming in and coming out. I think that would be awesome for us if ever Peak Sale was able to do something like that, where we could sit there and find a graph of holders coming in, or a graph of, like we can see with Bitcoin holders, right? It'd be cool. And I don't even think it would be that hard. All they would just do is track it, right? And then they put it into a graph for everything. So if Pink Cell is ever listening, create a graph where I can just click and be able to gauge if holders are gaining or if holders are leaving. And even one that has large wallets and small wallets, right? That's the other thing you can sit there and be able to create. I mean, honestly, that would actually be a smart thing to do, is create something like that. And just sell it.
I was going to say we should just make one.
I know, right?
There you go. Next Moonrock project.
Huh.
Yeah. So yeah, this is not that bad of a project. I want to make sure I just gauge what's going on with it. So yeah, what else? What are also? So you've told us some really good positive. What are your negatives on this?
The only real negative I have is just that I've looked at so many NFT marketplaces that either they don't even have buy pressure at the launch, or they do, but that they can't surpass the sell pressure. So the project just dies because people are too impatient and panic sell. But like I said, the difference is that this is tied to their to Meta Roofy's ecosystem, and it's not just going to be a bunch of random NFTs, but like there's going to be the aspect where anybody can make NFTs for people to mint on their marketplace, but they're also going to have the NFTs that are required for the metaverse for their metaverse projects. So I see that having potential to be able to compensate it. Maybe in the short term there may be a little bit more sell pressure just because we're in a bear market. But if if the metaverse isn't actually out yet, but if the metaverse is out, that they have the NFTs ready to go at launch. I see it having potential to do well. Plus, people are gonna want to hold the token for the rewards in Meta Roofy, especially if they're already Meta Roofy holders, because they're just getting free tokens based off that. But at the same time, it's a rewards token. So if there's low trade volume, there's almost zero rewards coming in. So that could add sell pressure.
I.e., baby cake. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
I was upset with the fake baby cake to having such a successful launch, and baby cake, the official baby cake 2 was just like,
Yep. Yeah. Listen, a lot of them are out there doing it. I mean, right now there's so many things that are going on that, you know what, the institutions are definitely getting involved. The institutions are definitely trying to make money on the markets movement and what's going on. So, I think this is going to be an interesting, when we come out of this bear market, what is going to happen, and this bull market coming up is going to be really interesting, right? Really interesting. I think we'll definitely see. I think altogether, I think, what are we at fully as a market cap now? The market cap
900
is
billion.
900 billion, right? Yesterday I think we're at 800 and something billion. So I do think that this next time around we'll be at probably about maybe 10 billion, or excuse me, 10 trillion.
So something that I do like though is Jim Cramer's actually saying that crypto has like no value now. It apparently, if you do the opposite of what Jim Cramer does, you're typically making money.
The next day he said it's crypto time.
Say again?
But literally the next day after he said that, he made a tweet that said it's crypto time. So it's reverse of the reverse now. So we still got further down to go. I know I did the exact same thing. I was like, woo, bottom's in, let's go. And then he came out and was like, it's crypto time. And I was like, never mind, $8,000 Bitcoin, here we come.
I'm kind of kicking myself for not buying more Cardano yesterday.
Oh, I had to sell off?
Well, because yesterday when I was looking at it, it was at like 45 cents. I 45 cents, set 6.
Okay, here real quick.
And I just looked and it's at like 47, and I'm like, dang.
Excuse me about that.
Not like a cut crazy percent up, but I was like, because I'm dollar cost averaging and to cut Cardano, Avalanche, and cut Crow right now. Not financial advice.
Yeah, ADA, man, it came down, like you said, to the 44 cents area right here, right?
Yeah, I was hoping, but like I didn't look. All I did was looked at the coin market cap chart. I didn't look at the trading chart.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, hopefully it comes back down to the 44, 45 when it was at like high 45. It that it jumped, but it's probably going to test that resistance again at 47, 48.
Yeah, well, I really do see like the S&P 500 coming down further, so that's why I'm a little hesitant of calling this top. Now I know we've had a hard rally, push up, and stuff like that, and like I said, we're gonna see this market, test its lows here. We're gonna see higher highs, higher lows. It all depends on the job numbers. It also depends on interest rates, right? These are all things that are affecting the traditional markets as we speak. If we hit this recession, and if it turns into some type of depression, it's going to bring a downturn in the market, which at the traditional markets, since we've been following kind of lock, stop, and step. Just jack that all up. We've been following it like a little baby, like a little puppy following its master, right? It's boom, we're seeing this, and so if we see a downturn in the market, and as far as I think we're going to go, we got much further down, and there's going to come a point in time, I believe, where we're definitely going to see a divergence within our traditional market and crypto, where we see it turn from one, right, where it's 1 to 2, 1 to 4, to all of a sudden, where the traditional markets go down, you're going to see, crypto start to do this and move up. So it's just one of those things that I feel like it's coming, right? I can't sit there and predict it, but sooner or later, we're going to see a divergence between the two and move. I forget who I was listening to. It was Kevin Leary. He talks about how probably in the next 10 years, the eighth sector of the S&P 500 is going to be crypto, and so it might even be next year, instead of the S&P 500, it'll be the S&P 510, right? So we'll see what happens, and I don't know. We'll find out what happens from there, but he's a firm believer that there is going to be this divergence where finally one continues down and the other one continues up. So are we at that point yet? I don't think so. I think we're still early on into crypto winter. I still think we maybe got a couple more months at least. We haven't really been going sideways much when you looked at. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
But like I'm actually kind of thinking / hoping Cardano comes down to 30 cents.
Well, let me do a quick analysis of it here. I thought I had.
Because like that's what, because I noticed, but looking at
that's why
the last bear cycle, it went to like it dipped right below the first bounce position. At 16 cents, it went right below that, and that's where it consolidated for a long time, but before the bull cycle. So I'm kind of hoping it repeats that.
See real quick.
Maybe I'll start trying to short Cardano then.
That's a nice little area, man. So you can see where it was the previous high right here. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm hoping for like 20 to 30 cents.
All right, and then do we have? Yeah, we have a demand zone right here. Not monthly. Oh, this is a sexy area right here. This is a beautiful, beautiful.
But which area?
It's actually the 17 mark area here.
Oh,
17,
Ooh,
12.
that's quite large.
That is what she.
if it goes down that low, I'll be real happy.
I would say you can start dollar cost averaging into this area.
Oh yeah, I've been dollar cost averaging since like Memorial Day, but when it was down to like 48 cents, I think. But was where I started.
Let me put some in here real quick.
All right, gentlemen, I have to step back into work. I'm gonna
Hey,
hop off here.
Definitely. Thanks for hanging out with us again today, Josh. You're always welcome. You know you are. All you gotta do is just probably hit me up. Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, I think you're right. This might be a transitional area. We'll see what's up. But brother, it's good hanging out with you again as always. And we're probably going to close this up here in a few minutes as well. So thanks for coming today.
Yes, sir. You all have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later.
Later, brother. Bye.
Have a good one.
Yeah, man. Let me look at this real quick. Boom. Here we are. The next one right here. You right there, brother?
Yeah, just allergies. Everybody's allergies have been killing them around. I think that this week.
What I've been doing, I've actually been really doing a lot of honey lately. Local honey been really helping me out completely. Also, bee pollen. Bee pollen's been my jam, man. Local bee pollen.
Meatball?
No, not meatball. Bee pollen.
What's that?
So it's little granulates from local bees. So where you really want to get it from a local area, right? So go to a natural health food place around where you're at and ask them if they have local bee pollen. And local honey will work just as well. I like the bee pollen because it actually helps increase and balance your estrogen and testosterone level pretty well. So that's why I like using that. But bee pollen and or natural organic local honey also will work for your nostrils.
I never knew about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely love messing with bee pollen though because it's simpler, it's easier, it's not sticky. I can put it into things, and so if I'm somewhere or something like that, I can just grab a couple. And I actually like putting it into a couple. Like I'll mix up. Here's a mix that I like to do. It's a mix. It's a little bit granular and a little bit stuff, but I'll get avocado. I'll put onions in it, so I'll cut it up into onions as well. Then I'll put in some chicory root, as well as bee pollen, and some salt in that, right? And for me, I love the taste. It's absolutely phenomenal, and I'll eat it up like it's like it's a good little meal, and I love it. you know.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this and I'm seeing here that we are following that 8 moving average on that weekly. So, and then we have the 50 moving average sitting right above here, whereas a lot of projects are already testing that 50 moving average, and this hasn't yet. So this is not a good sign on the monthly and weekly here. Doesn't mean that it's not doing well, but it's not showing me a lot of strength. Let's check out that weekly here. A weekly, we're not even above that 200, and we're sitting right above that 8 moving average, and we've been following it consistently. Here on the weekly, you can see here that we've, boom, as soon as it came up, it came back and tested this and dropped. Came back, tested, dropped. We put in lower highs here, so now we're probably going to put in a lower low. We'll probably come back, test this area right here. Let's see. So this is in addition to that. Here we are. So yeah, I can see it's coming back up because you've got some selling pressure right here. Now, granted, you do have buy pressure stepping in, so it's definitely a mixed bag of beans here. It's a mixed bag of cheese as well.
Cheese.
Because sometimes cheese can be stinky here. But you can see here that we definitely have the 50 period moving average coming into the daily. We are rallying up, but I can definitely see us hitting this area here and then seeing it come back down to the lower regions. Let's see what happens at the end of the week. So Sunday, we have a new week, right? So look to see what's going to happen. If we come and we start to put in, like we come up to this area and we see a sell-off, all right, cool, right? Then it's going to come back down to the lows here. But if it doesn't, right, and we see it stay strong and we see that it pushes through and then closes above this these wicks here, then we're probably going to see at least come up to here, right? So meaning up in this area, 52, 53. We still got that 50 period moving average sitting here as well. That, or not 50, but the 200 period moving average sitting right here that did just appear here. So this is something that you need to be paying attention to, just simply because it's a really large moving average and it's really strong. So, and it's a weekly. So understanding this area here is important. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for it to just like bounce off the 49 sets and go back down.
very much good. So, but you can see, if not, I still even think the 49, 47 area here, right, is still good. Don't obviously put all your eggs in one basket, but we can also see the 32, 34 area is good here as well. Okay. And then here's one right here, this weekly zone right here. So this is another area here that yeah. So I think these are good areas right here. You can see where the market might be turning at these points. And you really don't have any moving averages in these areas, so it could just, if the market, if the S&P keeps falling and we keep seeing it drop, we're very much going to, we've got some waste and drop. Also on a lot of these other coins, so we'll see what happens. So any last questions, my friend? We're coming up to the end of time here. Not end of time,
but that's it for me.
All right. And then, listen, man, let's keep an eye on that play that you're looking at. Also, looking forward to your next play that you're vetting. Love to hear what you're doing and seeing. Also, I know that you have access to some of the stuff within Vetter. If you can bring on Mike, or if you want to bring on any of your other current vetters, love to have them on as well. Kind of go over charts and see what's actually going on. Okay.
Sounds good. Good.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to you next week in your next spot out.
But thanks, you too.
Many blessings, man.
I'm getting the weekend.
You too, man. Have a great weekend.